Good evening. How are you? Good evening and welcome. My name is Nate Quinnell. I'm the head of school here at Norwich Free Academy, and we are excited and thrilled to host this year's City of Norwich debates. And I just really want to thank all the folks who worked so hard to make this all happen. Certainly want to thank Mr. Butler for his amazing work here at Norwich Free Academy and our diversity office. I really want to thank our students for the leadership that you show and your spirit of becoming engaged civically and being a part of an incredible process that we know here in America as democracy. I also want to thank the League of Women Voters for their partnership over many years and support here at NFA. And of course, I want to also thank the Robert Stein Duncan NAACP Youth Council for their contributions here. You know, it's neat to see so many friends here as I look out, and I think the beauty of, for me, is seeing you come together around something that we all understand is incredibly important, and that's understanding other people's perspectives. Oftentimes we come together so people can understand my perspective or our perspective. But in moments like this, I think if we step back, we realize what's really important is to understand others' perspectives. And I really, I'm inspired by that when I look and see your commitment to that. So I want to wish all of the candidates in the city elections the best of luck. Thank you for your commitment to service. Thank you for stepping forward, and thank you for wanting to be leaders in our amazing, wonderful city. With that, I turn it over. Thank you for being here.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here at NFA, where so many great things have happened on this stage. And I don't expect tonight to be any different. This is a place where ideas flourish, and I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight. I just want to note at least one typo on a yellow piece of paper that you were handed on the way in. There's an email that's incorrect. Ms. Gould's email address properly is MRS213.
No.
MRSG213@AOL.com. That's MRSG213@AOL.com. And so we apologize for that mistake, and I hope you all can take note of that. Okay, so I want to thank the candidates for running for the great city of Norwich, for the mayor of the great city of Norwich. The purpose of this debate is to give you, the voters, the opportunity to get to know your candidates better. So often we just hear a little sound clip or something that's taken out of context, and it makes a person look bad. I want to give these candidates the opportunity to share their visions with you, and so that you see them as they are. I want to thank the video recording people, Arnold and two students. We really appreciate you doing that. You'll be able to see this debate on YouTube, I hope. Yes, YouTube, Mr. Butler says, so that's good. Okay, so audience, the candidates have agreed to the rules of the debate ahead of time. They've drawn by chance in which order they will be speaking tonight. Each candidate will be given equal time to speak throughout the course of the evening. Now, except for the first question, each candidate will be given 90 seconds for each question, but the first candidate to speak will speak for only 60 seconds, and then the timers in the front row will hold up a sign when it lets them know that they have 30 seconds remaining, or 15 seconds remaining, or when it's time to stop. Once it's time to stop, they can finish their sentence. But the first person will speak for 60 seconds, and the next two will each speak for 90 seconds, and then the first speaker will get an additional 30 seconds in order to rebut or to add to what they had to say initially. And then the second question will go to Mr. Singh, and he will speak for 60 seconds, and then the other two will each speak for 90, and then he'll get another 30 seconds. So that at the end of the evening, they all have equal time, and they'll have a closing statement of 2 minutes at the end. And as they're continuing to collect their thoughts, I just want to remind you to vote. Early voting starts October 20th. And there is absentee balloting is available, and November 4th is Election Day. So please remember to vote. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce a student from NFA. Nishay is going to come up and help. Nishay.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nishay Shankel, and I am a current senior here at NFA. I have the pleasure of asking the questions to tonight's candidates. I have been a part of our school's Young Daughter Society, and also I am treasurer of the NAACP Robert St. Duncan Youth Council.
So the first question will go to Ms. Gould. You'll have 60 seconds.
Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself? What in your education, experience, networking, or personality would help you to be a good mayor of the city of Norwich?
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I'm a lifelong resident of Norwich, and I was elected to the Norwich City Council in 2015. I'm a small business owner, past president of Beth Jacobs Synagogue. I'm a lifetime member of the East Great Plain Volunteer Fire Company, and I presently serve as the treasurer of the Norwich Sunrise Rotary. I'm a mother. My daughter is Allison, and more importantly, I'm a grandmother. I have a 17-month-old grandson, Henry, and next month we have one more baby coming, another little boy. I see Norwich as my vision of Norwich is a thriving community with wonderful small businesses, affordable housing, a vibrant waterfront, recreational amenities, a place where we celebrate our history, we enjoy multicultural events, where young families come to start out and have a wonderful life here. I think it's very important that, we have a vibrant community for everyone to enjoy.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Singh, 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, and I hope thank yous are not covered in my time, but I really want to thank our host, NFA, for hosting us, and NAACP Youth Council and League of Women Voter for even giving us this opportunity. And, I love community chats and just to meet people in person with each other. So thank you very much. Well, I am Swaranjit Singh. People know me by Singh. I am a father of two daughters. One of them goes to Moriarty, 5th grade. And the other one is too little. She's going to be 3 very soon. So I look forward for that. I'm also husband and business owner in Norwich. And I have served my city in many capacities, from Commission of City Plan to Board of Education, and this is my second term in City Council. When it comes to my vision for the city of Norwich, it's crystal clear. We need strong leadership that understand economic development and growth and is willing to help the small businesses to grow in Norwich. Most importantly, I have said the day I declared my candidacy, we need manufacturing back in Norwich. Manufacturing is the solution for Norwich. That will generate the jobs that we need, and that will lead us to the affordability. So I look forward for that day when we have people with more disposable income and they can afford to live in Norwich. And that will also boost our local economy at the same time and help us lower the taxes. So, and I've also said many times, water is money. Waterfront will be the priority. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Ms. Wilbur, 90 seconds.
Hi, thanks for having me here for this debate. I appreciate it. Thanks everyone for coming out. My name is Marcia Wilbur, and I'm from Norwich. My family has been here for generations and had businesses, so far 3 generations. I have 5 sons. They're adult, and a daughter. They're all adults. I have an education from 3 Rivers in computer science from when I was a young mother, attending college, working 2 jobs, and finishing there. I went on to a bachelor's in technical communications and a master's in IT. My vision for Norwich has a lot to do with modernizing our systems, developing talent. I am an ambassador for Connecticut manufacturing, and and thus so I have a lot of resources to not just bring jobs, but to develop talent, innovate, and create some entrepreneurship here. Thanks for coming out. I hope that gives you a little bit of my background and what my vision is for mayor. I also have a legal background, and so I understand law, business, and technology. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I think we gave you only 60 seconds, didn't we, Ms. Gould? I think we owe you 30 seconds more.
It's quite all right. When I announced my candidacy for mayor, I promised to work hard, to roll up my sleeves, to work hard, to move Norwich forward. And I'm willing to work with anybody who wants to do the same thing that I want to do, which is work hard, reduce the tax burden on the taxpayers, move our city forward, bringing new economic development to our city.
Thank you, all of you. And the second question will go now to Mr. Singh, and you'll get 60 seconds.
Okay.
The city of Norwich has potential for a wonderful downtown. What is your vision for filling the empty storefronts? How would you consider the assessed value of a commercial building based on its potential versus the building in its blighted state?
Definitely good question. So here's the bottom line. I want people to start living in downtown. And this is what we need. When people will live, businesses will flourish. Any small coffee shop can survive. Any donut shop can survive. We need amenities there. I want gym in downtown. I want to make sure there's dry cleaners in downtown. I want to make sure people start living in downtown. And there are grants available, and we as a city have also signed up with the MRDA program, which is to bring more revenue and resources to Norwich so we can have developers develop and convert some of these blighted buildings like Chestnut Street Mill, which has been empty for over, 50 years. It was textile factory before the gun factory. So these are, I think, the key projects I want my time to be donated to. It will need a lot of advocacy. It will need a lot of lobbying at state level, federal level, but it's doable. Somebody just need to be there and advocate for these things, because developer not gonna pump $20 million to do the cleanup. So I look forward doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Wilbur, the same question, 90 seconds.
So my vision is a little bit different. I would like to see more innovation, startups, businesses moving into the downtown area. And I know that there are some nonprofits here taking up prime real estate downtown. And I'd like to see an effort made to for payment in lieu of taxes or some kind of benefit to the town, because we are bearing the burden of that non-tax, right? Tax exempt. I'd like to see more throughout Norwich, not just focus on downtown and the marina. I want to bring training and development, as well as other jobs in the meantime. And downtown is nice, but the crime needs to be taken care of down there before we can talk about people living there. So there are already apartments downtown, and I think limiting ourselves to rehabbing buildings before we can have more tenants is not part of my vision. Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Gould, 90 seconds.
Thank you. With the new Reed and Hughes building being adapted into apartments, with the new apartments on Main Street and Broadway, we have a lot of people who are going to be moving into downtown. And I agree, we have to have amenities for them. That's what they're looking for. Problem is, we have some blighted buildings, and we have to go to these people who own these blighted buildings and tell them that blighted buildings are not acceptable in the downtown Norwich. The biggest problem is that blight fines by state statute don't have to be paid. They can sit there forever and ever and ever. So we have to incentivize our building owners downtown to get their buildings up to code. It's a heavy lift. It's expensive to redo electric, plumbing, fire alarm systems. So we have to find public-private partnerships to make those things happen in our downtown.
Thank you. Okay, and now we're on to question 3. Excuse me? Oh, Mr. Singh.
Yeah, thank you. So here's the bottom line. Developers come here and there's so much red tape, to be very honest with you. And I built houses in Norwich, so I know a lot of things, what frustrations they are facing. But what I'm calling for is mixed use housing, which will actually, there will be a commercial component at the bottom. And a lot of our buildings are not in the code they're not in the code corrected way. So we want to make sure when they're developing the housing, they're also doing the commercial component and putting those code corrections in it, so it's easy for people to come and rent those buildings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. The next question will go to Ms. Wilbur first, and you'll have 60 seconds.
There is an unacceptable rate of homelessness in Norwich. Reliance Health reports 80 homeless people in Norwich. How can the city ally with nonprofits such as Reliance Health to improve housing availability for people? And besides nonprofits, can you think of other strategies to improve housing opportunities for people with low incomes or health concerns? Do you recognize that helping people get off the street would benefit everyone in the city?
Yes, I believe there are at least 6 homeless camps here in town. And I believe they have started or have been self-policing, which is a concern. Housing is not affordable, not just here, but throughout the state and the country. One of the things Plainfield has done is to pass an ordinance to allow for tiny homes, which could be an option for us here. There are community block grants to assist people, and I think we need to educate people, because I don't know that they're all aware that they could get the deposits taken care of as long as they can prove that they can pay the rent. And that sometimes is a big hurdle in getting affordable housing. Thank you.
Okay, and the same question then to Ms. Gould.
So I think the homeless problem that we have here in Norwich is not unique to us. And this is why we have to build public-private partnerships to find housing for these individuals. Some do not want to go into housing, and that is unfortunate, and we can't force them into housing. But public-private partnerships would help to find, maybe we take a building and make it into housing for temporary shelters, but we need training for these people so that they can get a better, find a job, keep a job, and then be able to get back on their feet. So I think training, pipeline to training for manufacturing jobs is an excellent way to help them do that.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Singh, 90 seconds.
Thank you. So affordability is a big challenge overall, and I totally agree. We could use more housing stock. If we had more housing stock, that could lead to more affordability. It's demand and supply issue here. But we do have 10% of affordable housing stock that state want every city to have. And a lot of our neighboring towns don't even have that, right? But we are not saying no to anybody who's trying to do affordable housing project in Norwich. But at the same time, I would like to promote more workforce housing projects, 1-bedroom units that people can afford, studio units that people can afford. Also, we have working relationship with many nonprofits. Habitat for Humanity is one of them. So I would like to make sure we grow that relationship with them. Also, it helps us as a city because there is an ownership component to it. People are not living on rent. There's an ownership component to it as well. So I want to make sure we grow that. If people have ownership, more stakes, they will be more involved in the city as well. Also, I want to do something some solution for senior housing. We don't have a lot of 55 above senior housing. And there are a lot of seniors who are living in nice big homes and they don't need it because kids are gone, right? And that's the way cycle works in the life, you know. You grow and then you downsize. So we want to make sure there's an ownership component for senior housing in Norwich as well, so they can still live in the place they love. Thank you.
Thank you. And then 30 seconds to Ms. Wilbur.
Yeah, hi. So I did notice, as Mr. Singh mentioned, that there is not a lot of 55 plus senior housing here in comparison to other areas. And I think that working on that and getting some subsidies for our elders is very important. And we need to address that as well.
Okay, thank you. The next question will go first to Ms. Gould, and you'll have 60 seconds.
Do you support enhancing and enlarging the collaboration and cooperation between paid firefighters and the volunteer companies? If not, why not? And if yes, how would you facilitate and expedite that interaction?
So I absolutely support collaboration and cooperation between the career department and the volunteer fire department. We have a storied history here in the city of Norwich of volunteer firefighters, over 100 years of service to the city of Norwich. So I think working together, training together, those are great opportunities for the city. Absolutely. Buying trucks together, that's great. I think we should be working together all the time.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Singh, you get 90 seconds.
Definitely. So here's the bottom line. We need volunteer fire department in Norwich. It's a fiscally responsible decision to make, and they all need to work together. I have no issues with that. They have to. That's the only way to move forward. But I've supported them at many occasions with their pension plans. I go to their dinners. What I love about them is the community component that they're saving in Norwich. But at the same time, if I'm the mayor, I'm also part of council. And council can give directives to the chief operating officer, which is city manager, who oversee all the departments to make sure there's system in place that everybody feel welcome and everybody feel part of it and everybody feel respected. So I think those are the things I look forward working with them, and I have good working relationship with them. They thank you after the budget vote. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Wilbur, 90 seconds.
Okay. So I believe the volunteer firefighters have been doing a great job since 1847. We've had Yantic Fire. I don't agree with the unified executive order, and I think we need to do more to protect our volunteers. They're well-trained, they are professional, they put their lives on the line, and we also need to look at some of the technology, like they had a system put in 3 years ago that was never activated. They do have the state radio system now so that it's better quality of service. But we really, in my opinion, we really need to support the volunteers. And the city department's important, but it's also not fiscally responsible to transfer money from the resources of the volunteers to the city. If there's another way we can do it, we need to look at that. And we also need to include them in the conversation, which was not done before this executive order. Thank you.
And then 30 seconds more for Ms. Gould on that question.
So I'm going to agree with Marcia. We've mistreated our volunteer fire departments with this unified command structure, and I hope that we can review it, change some of the policies. The men and women who have given their time, money, effort to the city of Norwich. They have to be thanked for that. We should be grateful. They save us millions of dollars every year for their service.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next question will go to Mr. Singh for 60 seconds.
Do you feel that the arts are an important part of our community? If so, what is the role of the city in supporting the arts?
Well, you're asking this question to the wrong person. I'm director of Seek Art Gallery. So definitely art is very important to me personally as well. And I think I have always said art is universal language. You know, some things you cannot speak, and there's also a saying, one picture is, almost 1,000 words. So art does make, not just beautify, there's a messaging component to the art as well. And I'm very glad we have the murals who talk about our history, who give us representation, and we will continue doing that. We actually want to do a cultural district component in Norwich, so we can have this artwork marked everywhere. And I think that brings tourism to Norwich too. If it's properly done, we need to capitalize on the things we are already doing. Seems like we are doing a lot of good things, but we are not adding an economic component to a lot of things we are doing. So I think I definitely welcome anybody who wants to be participate in that, and I look forward promoting art in Norwich.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Ms. Wilbur, 90 seconds.
There's a lot of different forms of art, and I had called the art space looking for a possible integration of technology and art that we see now today, where you will use LED lighting or animatronics with the art. Of course, there was that banana with the duct tape also. But I am in favor of the arts, absolutely. My master's is with an emphasis in graphics as well. And we have a lot of artisans here, some with very specialized talents. And I agree, we need a place where they can grow, learn, express themselves, people can enjoy it, and possibly they can get some value, some financial value from their work as well. Not as the motivator only, but also as, to help them pay for supplies and all of that. So, thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Gould, 90 seconds.
Okay, thank you. We're sitting in one of the only one of only 2 museums in the country on a high school campus which has beautiful artwork. We have the Norwich Rose Arts Festival celebrating art. We have First Fridays celebrating art and music. Art is in very different forms. We have the Norwich Arts Council, and we should be collaborating with them. We just did a beautiful sculpture in Franklin Square. We just unveiled it. That was done through ARPA funds. We need to support the arts as well. It's nice to talk about, did you go to the Chestnut Street Playhouse and see what they're putting on? We need to, as a community, support the art that's here, bring our friends, bring our family, bring others to come and support the artists that are living here in Norwich trying to make a living.
Okay, thank you very much. You get 30 seconds more, Mr. Singh, if you'd like.
Anytime you want to give me, I'll take it. But so there was something in discussion, Shakespeare Theater. That could be a catalyst to bring more people, not just to downtown or bring more businesses to downtown. That could be a game changer for our city. We will be put back on the map worldwide. And I have met their team, with my colleagues at the Norwich Arts Center as well. And I look forward to even go to UK to take a look at the one that they have. My brother lives there, so I have to go. He just had a daughter. Thank you.
Okay. The next question will go to Ms. Wilbur for 90 seconds. for 60 seconds.
What is your position on working with the law enforcement with regards to ICE?
My position is we do not stop federal action. Wow, yeah. Wow. We're Americans. I'm not saying, throw anyone under the bus, but I am saying that cooperation with federal law enforcement is important.
Okay, Ms. Gould, 90 seconds.
I will agree that it is not the place of the Norwich City Council to be making decisions about what happens with a federal agency. That would be between the Norwich Police Department, state police, and a federal agency. We should not be interfering with their business. It's no disrespect to anyone, but it's a federal issue, a state issue, and it may be a city issue, but it's not with the Norwich City Council.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Singh?
Sorry, I have opposite views for that because as a mayor, I don't want the hardworking people of Norwich to be kidnapped by the ICE. But at the same time,
Please hold your applause until the end.
thank you.
Thank you. Please.
For me, is saving our Constitution, saving our real American values. And the bottom line is our democracy. I want them to do due process on whatever they're doing. And as a city, we don't have extra resources that I can tell my police chief, hey, go follow their trail and do whatever they want us to do. We don't have enough resources as a city. So I don't want our PD to be part of this operation. Other important thing is our PD has already spoken. They have attended many forums we had in regards to immigration because a lot of people who live in our city are living still they're scared. They are US citizens and they're still scared. It made me think that maybe I should carry my ID with me all the time, maybe my passport, because who knows, right? Everybody don't know. But the other important thing is, I know we might not have jurisdiction overall on the federal government, but at the same time, there is some symbolic value that somebody will have to take a stand for the people who live and work in Norwich and are contributing in Norwich for longest time. Thank you.
Yeah, please hold applause until the end. Thank you. Ms. Wilbur, you have an extra 30 seconds if you'd like to rebut.
Yes, I'd like to say that when it comes to resources, as Mr. Singh has said, there has been a substantial pressure on our resources. I stand in line and I wait extra long. I'm not going to, as I said, throw anyone under the bus, but my mother came here illegally from Japan, and there is a way to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Please hold applause until the end. Thank you. The next question will go to Ms. Gould for 60 seconds.
The youth of Norwich want to see more recreational activities available to them. What are your ideas on this? This would include improving bike lanes and making the city more walkable.
So we just received a $4.8 million grant from the Community Investment Fund for the reconstruction of Fontaine Field. That will be a great asset for the city. We just redid the tennis courts. We have pickleball. We're working, I'm on the Rec Advisory Committee. We're working on getting volleyball here in Norwich. We have put in some bike lanes. Problem being with not all of our city streets are wide enough to have bike lanes. The rec department hosts and other organizations offer a wide variety of recreational opportunities for our youth. So I don't know what other thing the youth would like to have. We have baseball, we have basketball, we have football, we have soccer, we have tennis, we have pickleball, swimming's available in just down the road in Ockham. So I'd be interested to hear what they would be looking for.
Thank you. Mr. Singh, 90 seconds.
Thank you very much. So we as a city has already adopted complete street policy, which talks about these things. That when we do the streets, we have to do bike lanes, and connectivity is a very important component of the complete street plan, which has already been adopted by the city. Now, things get adopted, but somebody will have to enforce and, make sure it's a reality as well. But on Dunham Street, we do have bike lanes. Also, I have always talked when it comes to connectivity. First of all, we need a major connectivity between our transportation center, our marina, our waterfront, and our downtown, because that can bring a lot of prosperity if it's all connected and if it's all walkable. But I also sit on Rec Advisory Committee, and we have started doing discussions on a master park plan. And Washington Street Park will be my first important priority. That could be a beautiful park with some skating, some volleyball. Also, I guess I'm the only one trying to save Dodge Stadium. Thank you.
Thank you. And please hold applause until the end. We'd really appreciate that. 90 seconds to Ms. Wilbur on that same question.
So I thought the focus was Parks and Rec, but also you mentioned the pedestrian bicycle initiative, which is really by the state. And one of the reasons I believe that they are pushing the 6 roundabouts on West Main, 82, is not due to the amount of crashes, because I went into the database and I took the longitude and latitude, and their data was old. I believe it's a pedestrian bicycle initiative. Now, granted, I have spoken with some people who, bike, and there aren't really a lot of safe places to do so. It would be nice if we had a trail that met up. I thought that was part of the downtown, the funding. That was the $7 million in funding. But ultimately, bicyclers need to be safe, but people with disabilities also need to be considered in some of these plans that are made. And it shouldn't just be about recreation for well-being people, but also those who have disabilities, and accessibility needs to be a consideration in this town. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Ms. Gould, 30 seconds more on recreation.
We also got a $4.5 million grant from the Community Investment Fund to enhance Brown Park and extend the Heritage Trail up to the Antic Falls. So there's another opportunity for outdoor recreation, walkability, complete streets. Yes, I'd love to see bike lanes everywhere. You have to get out and ride your bike when you have a bike lane, though. But not all of our streets are made for biking. It wouldn't be safe.
Thank you. The next question, 60 seconds, will go to Mr. Singh.
How would you balance the needs of the budget and student transportation? Students have to walk in the dark and in inclement weather just to get to school.
So it's a good question, even though I don't know if I can directly influence this question. It's more of Board of Education question when it comes to the policies. Also, there are state policies which are in place to how much students have to walk, right? But the bottom line is, if there's no revenue, you cannot spend the money. So mayor will have to do some economic development to get the revenue, so we are not worried about saving $280,000 and making everybody walk to those extents. So I completely have emotions in regards to that when it comes, but at the same time, Board of Education have actually revised their policy, so we cannot say they didn't work on it at all. And they have put SROs in charge to go case by case basis. And I hope they're working on finding solutions for people, but at the same time, we need more sidewalks. There's no doubt about it. We need to invest in our city, but we will need the resources that we can use. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Wilbur, 90 seconds.
The policy of the Board of Education regarding bus transportation is based on guidance from the state. And again, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Students are standing on what the state calls crash alley and waiting for the bus there. And I don't know if anyone is following me, but there is what I call the liquor store bus stop, where young children are standing in front of a liquor store to get picked up. Now, some students have been there for years, but recently they changed the bus transportation route. And this is something that they will not change policy. They won't make an exception, even when it's hazardous. It's corrupting the morals of children. And you might not agree with me, but I wouldn't want my children standing in front of a liquor store every day. The other problems are, there's no sidewalks. And so I truly encourage people to get a traffic assessment if you live on a state route from the Department of Transportation and submit that to see whether or not the Board of Education's actions are sound to save a few dollars.
Thank you. Ms. Gould, do you have more to add to that?
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay. 90 seconds. 90 seconds for you.
Excuse me.
Yep. Do you want to repeat the question?
No, I do. I
got that?
do remember the question.
Okay.
So, the city budget provides money to the Board of Education. We cannot tell them how to use their funds. We can make suggestions. We can make comments. But I know that this is a hot button topic. I agree, but I believe the bus stop was changed from in front of the liquor store. I believe that was implemented. The Board of Education has a transportation subcommittee that looks into individuals who have concerns about where their children are getting picked up, where they're being dropped off. They go out with the Norwich Police Department to make sure that the area is safe for children to be waiting for the bus or getting dropped off from the bus. Many of these are state policies about how far you can live from a school and you have to walk. But I agree that they need to look into their policy, make sure that it's meeting the needs of our students and our families. We don't want any children put in any harm's way on trying to get to or from school.
Thank you. Mr. 30 seconds.
You want me?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So here's the thing. Bottom line is revenue. If you don't have money, again, how are you gonna spend it? I think if mayor is doing its job, everybody will be happy about it because they will be able to make decision appropriately. Other important thing is this is a public safety matter actually. So I'm glad they're involving SROs into the play because they need to really look by case basis. But here's the thing, if it doesn't work, maybe it's time to fix the policy. Maybe reduced from 1.25 miles to 1 mile, I don't know. The Board of Education should look into it, and I'm sure they're doing their due diligence because they also understand the pain of parents, and that's why they are even in this role.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question, we'll start with Ms. Wilbur for 60 seconds. Am I wrong? No? Okay, go ahead.
How would you address the lack of access to groceries in the city?
That's an interesting question because I did notice that A&P closed a long time ago. And in certain sections of town, even Taffel, there are minimal available resources for people to get food. In fact, I believe there was an article about certain areas being a food desert. I would love to see, actually, a community garden or a co-op where people could grow food. Now, that's not going to be all year round, but there are other ways of growing food and teaching people how to grow food. And also, we have delivery services. Why not find a way to make that affordable to those who are in, stay-ins or without transportation?
Okay, Ms. Gould, 90 seconds.
So, yes, I agree. We do have a food desert. The Taffville-Greenville area desperately needs a grocery store. At one point in time, the developer of Panema Mill was looking into putting a grocery store, small, like an independent grocer like they have in Wyndham, in that area. Those plans have not come to fruition. We have reached out to the Independent Grocers Association to see if someone was interested in coming to Norwich. Hasn't worked out either, but I do believe that we need to have more grocery stores here in Norwich that are spread out around the community.
Thank you. Mr. Singh, 90 seconds.
Thank you very much. So, incentivizing grocery stores to come to Norwich and telling them there is a potential for them to even make money in Norwich, that'll be a very first thing. Collaborations and reaching out to the people, the right people. And most importantly, we do have nonprofits. I know nonprofits were on attack, but United Way provide so much help to Norwich. Other day I was at the food drive at Three Rivers. Almost 298 cars drove by there. So there is help available. Their TVCC also have a program, Meals on the Wheels. Our Kate Mildy, recently even achieved small grant to help seniors. So we are providing 50 meals to the seniors as well. So there are programs, but we definitely need more help. And food insecurity, nobody can challenge. It's a very big issue in the city. And St. Vincent de Paul is also doing great work in regards to that. But when it comes to food desert locations, we definitely have to incentivize for them to come here. Starwood is one of the important place, which could be a very nice grocery store, and that could cater the whole need for Greenville area, Taffville area. So we definitely need to do more outreach and incentivize these things. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Wilbur, 30 seconds more.
I'd like to see an innovation or an innovator and an entrepreneur use AWS's algorithm for delivery services, which is done quite simply, to start a local Norwich delivery service that would be at a lower cost than, say, Instacart or Uber. I'd like to see innovation drive our solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next question will go to Ms. Gould first for 60 seconds.
There has been a good deal of discussion regarding traffic on Route 82. Roundabouts have not been popular. Do you have ideas to mitigate or alleviate traffic flow on Route 82?
I hate roundabouts. Not because they don't slow traffic, because they do. But the proposed plan on Route 82 is horrible. How many businesses are we going to put out of business? Because we can't get all of us to change our bad habit of speeding, of running red lights, of making a turn when we shouldn't be making a turn. Sign Professionals is already moving to Montville Commons. The dance studio is going to Preston. The barber shop is already closed. We're going to put 2 gas stations out of business, and possibly Wendy's. And while the state is building this project for $80 million or some crazy number, what is the economic impact to the businesses that are along our major corridor on Route 82? What's going to happen? They're going to go out of business.
Thank you. Mr. Singh, 90 seconds.
Thank you very much. Well, let's be realistic. It's a state road. We don't have a lot of pull into it. What City Council did was to give permission to the city manager to sign maintenance agreement. Nothing more than that. And we worked actually with our legislator to make sure the scope was reduced, which was reduced. Now, when it comes to saving businesses, we had that opportunity to save the businesses, to have them relocate in Norwich instead of them going to Montville. And here's my honest thing. How many people got their campaign signs from Sign Professional? I did, so I can say that. So I hope we are supporting the local businesses and not just making empty words out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wilbur, 90 seconds.
So, as far as that Wendy's, they tore down my house when I was little to put that in. So it's very near and dear to my heart, that Route 82 situation, because my Aunt Kiki and Uncle Ort started the first business on West Main Street. And now they call it Crash Alley. I went to the meeting at Kelly, and I was impressed by the amount of citizens and residents who spoke up, especially Mr. Grader, who, really transparently discussed the issue of what would happen to the people who are displaced. Is there no fund to help them? The other thing about that is that I believe some of the problem comes from the entranceways being on a slope. So you can't just go right into the business. You must also slow down, maybe someone behind you not prepared. But I was also impressed by Mr. Nystrom's comments at that event about our water lines and how tearing up the road could affect more than just businesses and employees, but also our infrastructure. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Gould, you have 30 seconds.
So if we don't change our own habits, I don't know what to say about that. We have to change our own habits. But if we banded together, we could change the state's mind on what they're going to do there and how many roundabouts they're going to be putting in, get them to be more thoughtful and more considerate of people who have put their blood, sweat, and tears into their business that are now being forced out. And they will use eminent domain if they can't come up with a agreeable price to get the buildings.
Thank you all. Our time for questions is up, but I want to give you time for your closing statements. They each get 2 minutes for a closing statement. So Ms. Gould, you're first.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters, the NAACP, Robert Duncan Youth Council, and the Norwich Free Academy for hosting this event. There's a lot happening here in Norwich to be excited about. We have new marina operators with a vision for the future. We've redeveloped the YMCA and the Reed and Hughes buildings. We have new apartments on Main Street and Broadway. This didn't happen overnight. It took vision and planning. As your mayor, I will keep this momentum going, rolling up my sleeves and working for you. With smart economic development, creating public-private partnerships, and grant awards will play a major role in continuing to move Norwich in a positive direction. Working in collaboration with Advanced CT for help with business retention and expansion programs, working with DECD on a comprehensive approach not only to community development, but to transportation, education, arts, culture. I will work in cooperation with our state and federal delegation to keep Norwich a priority. And I will make it a priority to meet with potential small business owners and developers, along with city departments and NCDC, to help make their vision a reality here in our city. The most recent reevaluation hit residential property owners the hardest, and the latest tax increase, supported by the Democratic majority, only added to that burden. Elections have consequences. If you, the taxpayer, wants change, on November 4th, vote for me and a Republican team for sustainable Norwich that will be working for you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Singh, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting, and thank you everyone for coming today. Look, guys, here's the thing. I know what it means to work for a living. I have waited tables while I was doing my education, and I came to Norwich, opened my business, put maybe 12-hour shift, 14-hour shifts. People were tired looking at my face because I was always there. I've spent my anniversaries there, for God's sake. So I know the struggle people are having right now, and it is very important to pick the leadership who understand that. Also, I understand, being a small developer, how many challenges people are facing in Norwich. And as a small business owner, it's not easy to navigate things in Norwich, let's be honest. So I definitely look forward to putting things in place that can help people survive and thrive. But I have talked to many people in past 7-8 months since March. There's a common sentiment. Common sentiment is we don't have opportunities here. So I do want to bring manufacturing back to Norwich, so my daughters and your kids have opportunity to stay within the same town, earn good living, and afford to be in Norwich. So I look forward doing that. Also, we need to focus on our waterfront. Again, water is money. Are people going Niantic to spend their money because we don't have anything to do here? So definitely we need resources, which we need to work with our state and federal delegation and do that hard advocacy or lobbying, whatever you want to call it. But somebody will have to show up and do those things in DC and in Hartford and be the partners with them to bring the resources back to Norwich. We deserve everything that any other bigger city in Connecticut deserve. So I look forward working on these issues with everyone, helping people. And I think that's where I get my satisfaction. When I got calls, I like to help people, navigate them, put them in the right direction. So we're gonna have a business hotline, and we're gonna convert the mayor secretary position into something that anybody can pick a call, and they know somebody gonna pick a call, and there is somebody on the phone to help them navigate. So I look forward to do all these changes. Norwich also need a Norwich app.
Thank you.
But thank you very much.
Ms. Wilbur. Ms. Wilbur, your 2 minutes.
I agree that Norwich needs an app. I get calls from people all the time.
We agree on a lot of things.
Yep, we don't know when the events are being held, where, what time, who's going to be there. The agenda page is nice, but an app with notifications, like when we had the Yantic flood, right? That would be great. So I agree with that, definitely. I also want to see a makerspace and a community center where people have resources like a web conference room to attend Zoom meetings when, there's no one on site. These are easily implemented and would be great resources for the town. And if you don't know what a makerspace is, it's a place where you can do 3D printing, etching, all kinds of, innovation. I'm not just talking about small businesses or bringing in manufacturing. My family, my father had ACR Manufacturing here next to Butch's for years. Employed a lot of people in Norwich when there were no jobs, right? We made those HLX speakers. And before that, my grandfather was an architect, employed a lot of people. I was raised to care about this community. This is personal for me. This is my hometown. And we have a lot at stake here. Economic development is the mayor's job, and I intend to fulfill that with 100% of the energy, time, and effort I have. Thanks for coming. Please vote.
Yes, please vote. Okay, now we can applaud.